Salute and thank you, NERDSoul. Ah, yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta bringing that street geek and NERDSoul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go. It's time to talk about that Soultaku, y'all. Look, we gonna bust out about 3 or 4 of them animes on y'all. We gonna chill out, watch some, watch through some, talk about some, have a good old time. So, before we get started, it's been like a week or two. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about Cobra Kai. We've been talking about, you know what I'm saying, Demon Lord 2099. We got Doom Prophecy coming on the way. We've been talking about the Penguin and stuff. So we got a good amount of stuff coming. So I guess in this case, let's go on and get started with the old, tried and true faithful. That's right, Dragon Ball Daima. You know what? Before we even get it cracking, I'm glad that we see Bulma starting out with this, because we've been off world in the demon realm, the third demon realm or third demon world or whatever, for a minute. So it's good to check back in with Bulma and them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got on the road yet. They set off a little bit, then they had a little backfire in the whip, so they had to go in and land it. Well, I guess it landed on its own. They didn't land it on purpose, but it fell back to the ground, and then she had to get back to work. So it is good to see what's going on here and kind of like what's taking them so long, because I want to get my crew back together as soon as possible. I know we want to separate our crew so they can have the adventure, but it's time to get them back together. It's episode 7. I'm ready to get these guys back together. Please don't keep them further, separated from one another any longer than maybe 2 more episodes. With that said, it was good to see last episode that sort of Glorio kind of showed his hand, kind of like where he was skill-wise, power-wise, the magic he used. Also, it was nice to see good old Goku power up. That's right, he went Super Saiyan. He was like, look, that magic you talking, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? Look, it ain't gonna work like that over here, playboy. Because I am a Super Saiyan. I'm the Earth's protector. Like, what do you? Come on, bro. You must not have known. Now, at the same time, we're not at the Dragon Ball Super level of your boy Goku, but still, we're at the right after the Cell Games Goku, or no, we're after Majin Buu Goku. Because this is after like the very end of the series. So yeah, so Goku is mighty strong even at this point. Yo, man, ain't it perfect that, you know what I'm saying, we need some kind of special mineral to fix this ship, and of course we ain't got it on Earth. You know what I'm saying, it might only be in the demon realm. And I feel Bulma, cause she like, yo, I did try to get this fixed super duper fast, and now it ain't even working. And now I need a piece that I don't even know if it can be recreated, duplicated, modified, or found where we at now. So I see where she's coming from. I see the justifiable anger. Now, when the ship that comes to alert them from the demon world, to let them know what's going on with Goku and everything, when it lands, before they know who it is, peep how Vegeta stood in front of Bulma to protect her. I saw that. That's right. Protect your woman, bro. Protect your woman. Now, I know I might be tripping, but okay, so Pansy is like, hey, Glorio, stop the whip, because the Gendamari over there, and she's all scared of him. But after seeing what Glorio can do, and definitely what Goku can do, are we still tripping over them? Like, is it, or I mean, maybe they explain something that I missed? Maybe it'll be a situation where it's bad for her father or something. But I'm like, we're not really tripping over these like putties anymore, right? We're not tripping over these random grunt foot soldiers. Like, we got Goku. It's kind of like when Tony was like, we have a Hulk. Like, bruh, we ain't tripping. We got Goku. Like, these little foot soldier dudes, like, bruh, what? And even Glorio got skills. So why are we stopping our plane? Unless the idea is that we don't need detection because it'll be bad for, the royal family or something like that, then I guess I can get that. So we get to learn a little bit more about these collars. And, they're magic collars. They're on the Majin. But she says it can't be taken off. I guess maybe it's like a magic thing. But with her father being a king and her being, royalty as well, there's got to be someone that they know that can take care of that and get rid of it, right? Am I tripping, or I mean, it seems like this is one of those issues similar to Thor, where what's her name had cancer, and I'm like, yeah, but we know Doctor Strange, so like cancer's not an issue in this world, right? Okay, after this search, I am completely convinced that these guys deserve to lose, and they have the worst peripheral vision ever. Like these guys they don't even have regular vision, because they were like looking in the direction that Goku was in when he jumped out the bushes waving at people. Like, dude, yo, oh man, you know these are the not even the second string. These are like the fourth string reservists or something. Like, these are like the worst of the worst troops, man. These are, man, oh Lord. Y'all deserve to lose. There's clearly a kid just running around right there. Like, you, I mean, I'm not saying I want the bad guys to win, but I mean, dag, at least give us a challenge. Hold up. So, you mean the people that told Goku not to fight are the people that started the fight? But I mean, I guess, it was time for Supreme Kai to get his shine. Gloria already did a little something. But Pansy was like, yo, you ain't gonna be just kidnapping me. And also, don't they know she's a princess? Do they not know this? Because they was manhandling her like they didn't know who she was. Yo, they not only beat up the police, but go and steal a police car for real? Man, they out here in Dragon Ball Daima wildin'. You know what? I like Pansy. I like that she's about the liberation. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Kai breaks her collar off. And we don't see her just say, all right, guys, great, my collar's off, let's go. She says, can anyone do this spell? He says, yep, you best believe that. All right, maybe he didn't say that part, but essentially he said, yes, you can. Then she said, we got to teach it to everyone so we can get everybody's collars off. You know what I'm saying? She ain't just about herself. She about the people. You know what I'm saying? She's about the struggle. That's why I love Pansy. You know what I'm saying? Because she about the struggle. Okay, good. We got the whole crew in Demon Realm 3. Of course, they haven't caught up with him because Goku like, look, I want to fight the Tamagami quick. But Pansy just said the wrong words, man. She said, no one has ever fought these things and won. That's like catnip to your boy Goku. He gonna have to test his strength. He ain't trying to hear that. He like, oh, they can be beat. He like, you just watch. They can be beat. So hopefully we got enough time left of this episode to see a little scrapping, but it'll most likely be saved for the next episode. But let's see what we got. Man, I knew y'all was gonna make me wait. The second he said he had to eat and use the bathroom, I was like, man, this brother gonna shoot the deuce and then we gonna have to wait till next week. Man, I knew it. Goku, you and your bowel movements, bruh, killing me. Now, we do get to see at least the demeanor of this Tamagami. I don't know if they're all going to be the same, but he just walked up to like, hey, how's it going? And the dude like yelled and screamed loud enough to shake the whole town, basically. So that's interesting in how they approach their, I guess, protection of the Dragon Ball or Dragon Balls. So I'm interested to see if the other two are like this one. But the bottom line is, I like the setup. He's like, hey, you got to fight me. And Goku's like, all right, I got you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We about to do this. The only thing is, we got to wait until next week. But am I still locked in? Yeah, man. I'm enjoying this adventure, man. I'm looking at this adventure in like a nostalgic way. Like, I'm a kid watching something. Well, I mean, technically, I'm watching this for the first time. But like, kind of like that kid, childlike wonder of like, oh, man, they're going to this far off land. And they got to figure things out. And you know what I'm saying? Kind of engineer their own ways of travel, maybe stealing cars and ships or whatever. So I'm digging it. You got, Supreme Kai there, you got Pansy, Glorio, still don't trust him, but we're gonna see what happens. But I'm locked in. I'm digging this, for real. So next up, I guess we can talk Bleach. Okay, let's talk about good old Ichigo and the clan. Well, maybe actually not Ichigo. We be getting into like Shunsui, Nemu a lot. We've been talking about the left hand in these last couple episodes. Mostly the last 3 episodes. I'm gonna kind of group these together. The most recent episode is Baby Hold Your Hand Part 2, but the last 3 kind of they're kind of a group. because you have Nemu stand back. You got Shunsui fighting I can't remember, the guy with the sniper rifle. And you have a second to slow down your main team fight and still get a lot of, I'd say, intriguing battles that, at first I wouldn't be super hyped to, talk about or see. But now that we got it, I'm like, okay, all right, word up. I'm actually hyped to see it. The coolest thing is the information, or the coolest thing for me is the information about the left hand, or the left arm, the Soul King's left arm. Because I have a question for all of my super Bleach knowledgeable people. I guess my question would be about Mimi Hagi, and also, which is the right hand of the Soul King, I believe, or the right arm of the Soul King, and then the left arm. Because okay, let me know if I'm close, or educate me on this. So the Soul King is supposed to be a Soul Reaper, like the top, Soul Reaper. I assume. I could be wrong on that. Let me know on that one. So if he is the main, the leader of the Soul Reapers, like he's the Soul King, right? Then why is his left arm saying that he's a Quincy? Is that even possible? Or is the Soul King part Soul Reaper and part Quincy to be able to represent both, I guess, states of being or something? Because it seems like, Mimi Hagi is, I guess, compatible with the Soul King that was that was kind of like that Yuha was going after, right? But then the left arm seems to be fighting on his side, his meaning Yuha's side. So Yuhabaha doesn't seem to at least have to defend himself or fight against the left arm, which says he's a Quincy. And then the right arm is something that he was surprised to see and couldn't see coming and is trying to destroy. So is it that these two arms are, like the Soul King is part Soul Reaper and part Quincy? Or am I missing something here? Did like some kind of transformation happen that I'm just missing? I completely forgot an episode or something like that. Because when I looked at the battle between what is his name? Kurotsuchi and the left arm is firmly on Yuha's side, and he's firmly calling himself a Quincy, and he's firmly using Quincy type weapons with the arrows and stuff. And it seems like there's no, I guess, cohesion between his body parts or these two arms. I don't know if we're gonna see like the leg of. I doubt it. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but that's the biggest question that I think I came off with this episode from. Then on the other side, just Nemu. Shouts to Nemu for kind of like stepping up and I guess kind of showing her growth. You know what I'm saying? Because even Kurotsuchi is basically like, who told you to come in here and save me? Who told you to do anything? Who told you that you were allowed to, be in this fight? Because he always tells her to play the back. And she's like, hey, I basically made this decision on my own. Because when the arrow bent around and came back after him, then Nemu came out and saved him. And he's like, oh, snap, word up. You know what I'm saying? So she, also the amputation of body parts in anime in general is like the most casual. But anyway, she saves him, cuts her arm off. But through this episode, you definitely see a new view of her compared to the Nemu of old. Like of course, the Nemu that we saw, way back in the first series and stuff, where she definitely was just, just background. That's it. You stay back, and I guess she just knows all the knowledge and everything, and that's all you do. But he kind of reams her out, but she says, hey, I've grown, and I don't want to see you, she's like, I don't want to see you get hurt. And he goes back to calling her sleep number 7, but we get a a little backstory to that and how she had grown from there. So in these 3 episodes, I think seeing Shunsui drop out the ill fights where he's able to, essentially just fake out just about anybody with his skills. And then seeing Kurotsuchi kind of need some help. You know what I'm saying? Need some assistance and accept it, to a certain degree. I guess accept it as much as he is going to accept it. But I think these 3 episodes go together extremely well. It's Baby Hold Your Hand, and then Don't Chase a Shadow, and then Baby Hold Your Hand Part 2. I think all 3 of those episodes come together extremely well and kind of paint a much better picture of the rest of the I guess soul society, if you will, and kind of how they interact with one another. And that's something that I liked about these last 3 episodes, even though of course we didn't get my boy Ichigo in there. But I do think a show becomes stronger when it's able to build up its other characters and show how endearing they are to one another, their interpersonal relationships, things of that nature. So I'm digging Bleach. I'm still here with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Bleach, we still running, we still rolling, you know what I'm saying? We run it. But I like where this season's going. I have no idea about the mythology or the lore around the arms, so I'm definitely interested in knowing more. And all of you Bleach people, if y'all read all the Bleach and y'all know all the Bleach things top to bottom, feel free to educate me, because the arm thing is I'm definitely getting lost in the sauce with the arm thing. I'll be honest on that. But I guess now we can get into a little bit of Invincible Fight Girl. So since we've been talking about Invincible Fight Girl over on Anime-ish, what I want to cover here is kind of the perfect strike, I guess you could say, lesson that Andy is learning in these last 3 episodes. Episode 5, which is the perfect strike. Episode 6, which is behind the wall, the finger and the toe. And of course, episode 7, the most recent one, Birdie Unbound, where I would say that, how would I turn this? I think that the lesson that Andy is learning here is part of the test from Auntie P about wrestling in general. And this might have to do with the reason why Auntie P stopped wrestling as a whole. We see, through the research of trying to figure out the perfect strike, the team ends up in, Tumbleweed or something. They go to Old Tumble or whatever the name of the town is. But Rough and Tumble were the ones that, I guess, the first ones to get hit by the perfect strike. And their obsession over how to do it, how to stop it, how to counter it, kind of took over their lives. It destroyed their relationship. They divorced, and through that divorce, the wake of that divorce, not only reverberated over the town, but most importantly with their child, Birdie. And Birdie ended up being very insular, very angry, and also resenting the idea of wrestling as a whole. Because from her perspective, wrestling has ruined her life. It ruined her family. She's not even with her parents. She's running and hiding. And she's now in a place where she wants to destroy everything they've built, everything around them, because all of that is what destroyed her life. It completely changed the second they lost. And I believe the lesson that Andy learns from going there, from thinking that, she can fix everything, because remember when she met Mikey, it was very similar, like, oh, I can fix this, I can fix everything, that kind of idea. And we end up going around asking people questions, figuring out why the finger and the toe exist and how it came to be, things of that nature. And through Mikey's eyes, he's thinking, hey, if people have the truth, then boom, once they have the truth, everything's going to be fine. We're going to know exactly how this started. We're going to be able to bring this to an end. We're going to be able to change their lives. The whole trajectory of their angst, their hate, their vitriol, will be upended and fixed because they now have the truth. And the truth only intensified the fight. It only ended up making both sides more and more angry. And then Birdie then used their well-meaning nature to try to get to the bottom of it and fix it, to further destroy the link between, of course, the finger and the toe. And we find out through episode 6 where Andy's like, they're not separate, they're all together. And I think Birdie's even trying to get them to realize that it's all together, because she does have a version, I guess you could say, of the perfect strike, but she still doesn't have it completely mastered. But she does bring in her, her hands, her arms and legs together in the strike as they should be. You don't just strike without, anything, nothing in the strike is about just your legs or just your arms or whatever. Your whole body moves as an instrument. So she's visibly hurt, visibly shaken, and she's starting to cry. She changes, and instead of the parents saying like, hey, our anger, our hate, our destruction of our marriage and relationship has turned our daughter into a monster, because visibly it's a monster. But, from the, I guess, the attitude and the demeanor of her, you could basically see a pastiche of like a live action example of this creating a monster within a child. When you say, I think I've created a monster, this can happen where this young girl or this young boy is angry. They're angry about everything. Anyone who even tries to come and fix it becomes a target of that anger, and it lashes out everywhere. And of course, visibly, we see her change and become larger and more monstrous looking. But this is what can happen to people's spirit, their soul, their heart, their mind, and I think this episode does, or these 3 episodes do a great job of digging a little deeper than a show like this would be expected to. And I believe that Andy and her realization that she is so blessed and so favored to be able to have her parents the way she has them, and the support from them the way she has them, that she takes a moment out to get Mikey's phone, call home, and just say, hey, and just, like, hey, mom, I love you. Hey, dad, I love you. I hope everything's all right. And you see her break down crying. And that's the first time we see, even, I guess in secret, we see Auntie P acknowledge Andy in a way she had not before. And I believe without the perfect strike at all, and she may end up hitting the perfect strike in the next episode, but I believe without the perfect strike at all, I believe that Andy learned the lesson that Auntie P wanted her to learn, that this isn't about, kind of like dreamers and busters, like she said, Andy said earlier in like maybe episode 2. This is more about the power that wrestling can have over people's lives, how it can change people's lives, how dangerous it can be, and how important it is to many people, and how delicately it must be handled depending on the situation. That wrestling isn't just wrestling. And I think she learned that lesson, and something beautiful. I think this was a beautiful situation in regards to the show as a whole, and in regards to seeing how Auntie P now sees Andy. So yeah, I guess that's it. So of course, we got Dragon Ball. That thing has been going crazy, in my opinion. We got the Tamagotchi fight. We got, Vegeta in here fighting. Even got a little something from Piccolo too. So the team is now semi together. We have the new Majin being created, so that's a whole new wrinkle. we have the main, what seems to be the main plot of this first season. If I don't know if this is supposed to be multi-season or just one season, a one and done season, but we seem to now have the main pieces coming into play. You know, we have what's her name, Arinsu. She created the Majin, so he now exists. And of course, he's like, you know, Majin Ku, not Majin Buu, but he looks like a, I don't know, like a low budget Frieza, like with a butt head. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like a low budget Cell / Piccolo kind of. I don't know where I put him, but I'd say we're off to the races with this. We have all the players in the Demon Realm now. We have one Dragon Ball available. I mean, available to us that, you know, Goku has gotten. Where Ku is going off to get the other Dragon Ball. He seems to be completely, you know, cognizant of his role and who controls him as far as Arinsu is concerned. And I think we got a show now. We up now. We've gotten our fights on. We know exactly where we are. The young team doesn't know where Glorio stands, but we'll see how that plays out. Because we don't know if he is like a true believer as far as the evil is concerned, or if he's a hired gun that can end up changing his wicked ways later. So with that said, man, holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you down in the comments. Let's talk Dragon Ball, let's talk Bleach, let's talk Invincible Fight Girl. I cannot wait to see more and more coming. But NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz, plus Blue Sky. And until the next time that you have to defend yourself against a whole bunch of people that just stole your spaceship, we're just saying, peace.
It's like you gonna spread mathematics, spread it right. You know what I mean?